Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Nick Lynn, and this is the place where braiders turn to learn braided hairstyles, develop tenacious hustle, and flourish in hope. In today's video, which I am so excited about, guys, we are actually going to be doing this young man's hair. I just love how long his hair is, and I thought that this would be the perfect canvas to show you how to do box braids on men's hair, but with a completely different parting pattern. See, a lot of the men's hair that I do, they typically have like their sides shaved, or they have like an undercut or some type of low taper or what have you. But this was a perfect opportunity because he doesn't have that. So his hair is pretty much the same length all around the hairline and from front to back. So I could really show you the parting details starting right at the nape and working our way up right to his hairline. So to get started, and so that I can have the best view possible, I am going to go ahead and split his hair right down the middle. Now the reason for splitting the hair down the middle is because you will be able to see his head and to see where you're parting a lot more clearly because you're working in separated spaces. So for this type of parting pattern, I highly suggest to split the hair down the middle first. Now let's go ahead and part his hair from ear to ear. This is yet another section that is being created, but again, it will help you prep your style and see exactly where you want your parts to lay. So again, we're gonna go ahead and just part that from ear to ear. So now this section that we just parted from ear to ear, I'm going to split it again, because this whole section is going to equal 2 rows. So now I'm going to go ahead and define my part using the Shine and Jam. And then I'm going to go over my part again. You guys know this is how I clean up my parts. I just use Shine and Jam, and then I take my comb and then I go over the part until it's straight to my satisfaction. This does require for me to go over it a few times, but this is just what I do in order to get the straightest parts as possible. Okay, so I have basically decided that since this is like a larger set, I'm only going to do 2 braids in the back. But if you were doing a smaller size, you can split that into as many braids as you want. Just know that your bottom row is basically going to set the tone for the rest of the rows to come. So here's something else you can keep in mind. There are other braiders who may go ahead and part out all of the rows first before they start braiding. I have done that as well. But this time, since I kind of know like where I'm going, I just decided to kind of braid as I went. So I parted a row and then braided or what have you, but just keep watching because I am going to take you through the rest of the parting steps. So now that we've gotten through the first row, let's go ahead and fix up this second part here. Now, when I originally did the parting, it was just a rough draft, so I am again going to clean up the part. Okay, and now I'm going to part out 3 sections for the braids because I did 2 on the bottom. So I want the middle braid in this section to fall in between the 2 that I did underneath. This is basically how we start our bricklay, and that's what helps the braids lay in between one another and fill in any of the spaces. Being able to bricklay your parts really kind of separates you from that beginner status, like that early on status, to, okay, you really are taking time and you really are advancing in your craft, because people love to see and love to have that whole bricklay setup. It really does enhance the style. So I would suggest give this a try and see if this is something that you can add in to your box braid styles. Okay, so now that we have our 2 rows out of the way, the nape section is done. Now you can see I'm still going ahead and fixing my middle part because I'm still working from this middle part. I'm still using my middle part to create my rows. So now that I have this section cleared up, I am going to part that in half. So we're really going to have 4 rows all together, but parting it in half, again, it gives me more control over what I can see. He has a lot of hair, so I need to be able to see exactly where my rows are going to be. And so by parting it in half and getting that section out of the way, I can then go ahead and part his hair in half again to make 2 more rows. And again, guys, as you see, when it comes to parting, it is something that you may have to do a few times. That's what's really going to make the difference between you and other braiders. I'm not saying that you have to take the whole entire time parting, but give it a little bit of energy, guys, because it really will make the difference. Now that this section has been created, I'm going to part it in half again. What I just parted is going to equal 2 rows. So the whole top section was going to be 4 rows, and we just did 2 out of the 4. And then for this section, all I did was repeat the same thing. I just split it in 2, just like I did a few moments ago. Then once you have your parts completed on this side, all you have to do is do the same exact thing on the other side and just match up your lines. Use your middle part as a guide and create the other parts on the other side. So guys, now your rows are complete. So just go ahead and create your boxes inside the row. Now remember to keep in mind that you are bricklaying the parts. So make sure that you are using the row underneath the row that you're working on as a guide in order to see how you're going to lay out your boxes. And a little later in the video, I'll show you an exact example of how you can use the row underneath as a guide. Okay, so in this next clip, I'm going to slow it down and zoom in for you so that you can see exactly what I mean. The pro tip here is to use the middle of your braid to create the part on top. So as you can see, I'm taking the middle part of that box braid and I'm using it to create my lines for the row above. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, and back to braiding we go. So guys, I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish just watching the rest of the video. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and like it because that lets me know that this is the type of content that you guys want to see. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future uploads. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it down in the comment section. That's where I can answer all of your questions or even comments or whatever, but go ahead and leave that right in the comment section. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I love to see all of your photos and your updated work and things that you've tried from watching the video. So guys, go ahead and follow me there. It's Neek_Lynn. I will be looking forward to hearing from you. Last but not least, come and join the Facebook group. This is my favorite place to hang out, guys, because there is like 500 other braiders in there who have become sisters to me, and we talk and motivate each other each and every day. And if that's something you need along your journey, Hair Hustle Hope Collective is here for you. So guys, again, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and as always, God bless, and I'll talk to you in the next one.